Hi, my name is Steven and welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be talking to you about sleeping better. So sleep, everybody does it. So how do you get the most out of your sleep? So today I want to be talking to you about how I sleep better in life and share those tips with you. So really this all started when I moved from LA to Seattle. What I realized was that I was totally unacquainted with the latitude of Seattle. So for example, in the summer it would be 16 hours of sunlight, and then in the wintertime it would be 16 hours of nighttime. This really screwed up my sleep cycle a lot, and so for the past 6 years, I've been trying to figure out ways to sleep better and not make living in Seattle detrimental to my sleeping patterns. So today I'm going to be talking to you about the inconsistent day and night cycles that I went through, and then I'll go over a couple of tips and strategies that I use to sleep better. Note that I'm not a doctor and this is for entertainment purposes only, but I really believe that some of these tips and strategies will really help you get a good night's sleep. And let's go! So when I first moved from California to Seattle, I really had problems with sleeping. I really didn't understand how much the day and night cycle would interrupt my sleep. So being raised in LA, I got a consistent 8 hours of nighttime sleep. And this really became ingrained in me because I spent so long having an uninterrupted night cycle. So the problem really began when I experienced my first summer in Seattle, where the daytime lasted for almost 16 hours. This really had a problem with my sleeping schedule because I am habituated to sleep when it's nighttime. And since the sun sets at around 10 o'clock at night, I really had a hard time adjusting to that. And also when sunrise in the morning comes up at around 6 a.m. That really screwed up with what time I woke up in the morning. So essentially, I had insomnia for the bulk of the summers here. But interestingly enough, the 6-hour night during the wintertime actually helped me sleep better. So it was really a cross between sleeping worse in the summer and sleeping better in the winter. So for the first 2 years, I kind of dealt with it. So when I realized that I was really tired during the summer, I really wanted to combat that by trying to figure out as many tips and strategies to sleep better as I possibly could. So most of these tips are really simple and general in nature, but one of these tips I really found as a fluke, and it was a game changer for me. And then it goes without saying that none of these tips and strategies are really a shortcut for sleeping less. They're really for helping you sleep better with the hours that you already have. So I would not try to cut down sleep based on the tips and suggestions I give. I would still recommend the 7 to 8 hours worth of sleep and then add these tips and strategies along with it. And you'll see a massive improvement with the quality of sleep, and you'll feel very energetic when you wake up in the morning. So here are my strategies for sleeping better. Number 1, blackout curtains are a must. I'll add a link down in the description below for the blackout curtains that I use, but any type of blackout curtains can really work for this. As long as they block out all the light coming into the bedroom, it'll work. So the reason why I say this is a must is because the light is actually what wakes me up. In the morning time, my bedroom window faces the sun when it rises up in the morning, so I get the full brunt of the light that comes into my bedroom. Blocking out the light has been absolutely a game changer. I see barely a sliver of light that comes into the bedroom, and I've been able to sleep a lot longer and better quality than I have been without the blackout curtains. I think for me, I'm really sensitive to light, and really a dark room gets me in the mindset of sleeping because I already associate with dark room with nighttime. So it really triggers my mind to be in the state of sleep. And as a bonus, if you want to take nap times in the afternoon, your room is already dark so you can get a good nap in as well. That is one of the easiest things that you can do. And there's plenty of blackout curtains on Amazon for like $30 or less. Number 2, block out as much noise as possible. So the biggest key for me is to use earplugs when I go to sleep. Now that might seem unusual, but I found out that earplugs are the best thing when you're trying to get a good night's sleep. For me, I started using earplugs when I'm traveling for work and the hotel rooms are terribly noisy or they have very thin walls. I go on these business trips frequently enough that these earplugs have been a godsend for me to get some quality sleep. I got so used to wearing these earplugs that when I came home, I also started wearing earplugs as I sleep. So for me, I use them every night to block out random noises that might occur. It's not like there's a lot of noise that's happening in the bedroom, but with the noises that randomly occur during the night, I don't want to be interrupted when I'm sleeping. It is one of those things where I'm making sure that something doesn't disrupt me when I'm sleeping. Putting on earplugs is really just a simple way to kind of prevent that. And I'll put a link in the description below to the earplugs that I use from Amazon. So another suggestion is to soundproof your bedroom as much as possible. That might be putting carpets if you have wood flooring in your bedroom, or having drapes on your windows to block out the noise that might come from the outside. This is very unique to your own bedroom, so look at various places where noise can occur and try to dampen them out whenever possible. And also, I try to reduce the disturbances from getting up and out of bed during the night. That means putting water cups next to my nightstand. That means putting things that I would generally need during the nighttime next to my nightstand so that I don't have to get up and go and get something and I have everything right at my fingertips. And really, blocking out noises is one of the key aspects next to blocking out the light. I don't know about you, but for me, I'm also very sensitive to noise. I don't consider myself a light sleeper, more of a moderate sleeper. I just don't want to have some random noise wake me up. So number 3, maintain a consistent temperature when you're sleeping. So one of the lesser effects that interrupt my sleeping is temperature. There's been times where I've been really cold and I wake up shivering during the night. Now this could mean that I'm not wearing enough covers, or that I tossed and turned so much that the covers aren't on me anymore. So being in Seattle, you're also dealing with colder weather in general because of the high latitude. So there's some nights where it's 30s and 40 degrees, and you really have to bundle up when you're sleeping. So for me, I grew up in LA, and I run a little hot when I sleep. So I'm more comfortable sleeping at a hotter temperature than most people maybe in Seattle. So really, it's important to me to keep a consistent temperature range when I go to sleep. Somewhere between 65 to 75 is the ideal temperature. So I would suggest finding a temperature range that you're comfortable with and then trying to maintain that temperature range whenever possible. This may mean just having a digital thermometer placed on your nightstand and having it record the temperature throughout the night. Or if you don't have a digital temperature that can record throughout the night, then whenever you wake up, try to record the temperature, or you can quickly jot it down. You have a data point of where the temperature's at. And so with that point in the middle of the night, and then maybe when you wake up in the morning, you can compare the two and see if that's a temperature range that you're comfortable sleeping in. And so really, this is about being comfortable. If you're in a comfortable temperature range, then your body doesn't have to work as hard to keep you comfortable and asleep longer. So number 4, get soft. Have soft pillows and soft mattress toppers. For me, I never realized how good a soft bed can be. In my younger days, I used to be able to sleep on harder surfaces and not really feel the effects of a soft or hard bed. Growing up, I didn't really have a soft mattress and I just slept on whatever was given to me. But what I didn't realize was I tossed and turned so frequently when I was younger that it disrupted my sleep. Now, it didn't affect me because I was younger and I had more energy, but I really started to feel the effects of it when I got older. If I tossed and turned on a harder surface, then it would be harder for me to get better sleep during the night. And really, a soft bed has helped me to stay in bed longer because it's so comfortable that you don't want to really get up in the morning. You just want to stay there the entire day. And when you come back from something really tiring, like hiking all day or doing some physical activity, you come home and you feel that soft bed and you just sink in and you just don't want to escape it. So for me, having a soft mattress and a soft pillow is just a great idea. I'll put a link down in the description below for the pillow I use and then also the mattress topper. And then speaking of pillows, figuring out the pillow that you're most comfortable with is key to selecting the right pillow. For me, I like to have a lot of support for my neck when I'm sleeping, so my pillows tend to be larger and higher. Really, it's about selecting the right pillow for you and what you're comfortable with. And number 5, my most ultimate hack, find out if you have sleep apnea. So this was the fluke I was talking to you about. I found out that I had sleep apnea from a book I read. It was from Tim Ferriss's book, The Tribe of Mentors. I'll put a link down in the description below. And in this book, he was doing an interview with a wrestler. And the question was, what was the one thing that changed his life? He said he had an undiagnosed condition called sleep apnea. Finding out that he had it and resolving it with a CPAP machine made the biggest impact in his life. And because of this condition, he was snoring very loudly, and also he was having very little energy during the day, even after 8 hours of sleep. And he would have to take naps in the afternoon just to recover. So what sleep apnea is basically it's not getting enough air into your lungs when you're sleeping. And as a result, you're not getting a full night's rest. There's moments where you literally stop breathing and you choke. This is a very serious and undiagnosed medical condition that's affecting so many people. It's not talked about a lot, and so that's why I didn't really know I had it until I read it. Some of the things that I went through was I was very tired in the day, and I tried to sleep 8 to 9 hours and I still was tired. And then my wife also told me that I snored really loudly during the night, and then there'd be moments where I would choke and stop breathing. Now this only lasted for a couple of seconds, but this repeatedly happened throughout the night, and I ended up being really tired and exhausted in the morning. So after reading that book, I realized I had very similar symptoms to what he was going through, and I scheduled an appointment with my sleep doctor immediately. And then after about a week or so, he confirmed that I had a moderate case of sleep apnea, and he gave me a CPAP machine. A CPAP machine basically puts positive air pressure on either your nose or your mouth, and it basically pushes air into you when you're sleeping so that you have air continuously going into your lungs. And it lessens the effect of you struggling to breathe when you're sleeping. And 100%, this changed my life. After about a week of using the CPAP machine, my energy rose substantially. I realized that I didn't need to sleep 8 to 9 hours. I can get away with 7 to 8 hours. But not only that, I had energy throughout the day. I was able to not have to take naps anymore. It was amazing. This was easily a 30-40% better improvement on my sleeping. And I would totally recommend, if you think you have sleep apnea, go see a sleep specialist immediately. This one condition could have saved my life in the future because you are at higher risk of a heart attack the older you get and the longer the condition goes undiagnosed. So I'll put a link down in the description below to showcase more of what sleep apnea is and what are the symptoms of it. And I really hope that you don't have sleep apnea. So those are my tips and strategies for sleeping better. I had to make a huge adjustment from moving from LA to Seattle. The day and night cycles were completely disruptive, so I really had to find alternative methods to get me back to sleeping as I normally would in LA. So I take sleeping very seriously. I know for myself that if I sleep less than 7 hours, I'm no good during the day. The best thing for me is to get a full night's rest of 7 to 8 hours a night. And all these tips and strategies that I've learned from the past 6 years are just one piece of the puzzle that helped me sleep better. You don't need to take all these tips and strategies and implement them all. You just need to take a few of those tips that really matter to you and implement those. So for example, if you're really sensitive to light, then you might want to have the blackout curtains. If you're sensitive to sound, you might want to just block out the sounds. Or if you have sleep apnea and you don't really have an issue with the rest, then maybe you just resolve the sleep apnea issue. Only focus on the ones that you can implement and you're comfortable with implementing. So I really hope these tips and strategies help you sleep better. So leave a comment down below to tell me what kind of tips you have for sleeping better, and if those tips that I suggested have helped you. And please like, subscribe, and share with your friends if you found this video to be helpful at all. And I'll see you next time.